How's it everyone? Jacques here. We're gonna do a 1-year owner's review of the Rocket. So I'm just gonna make myself comfortable here, have a cup of coffee, and then we're gonna talk about this motorcycle. Firstly, I purchased this motorcycle brand spanking new. I've never ridden it before and never sat on one. I only saw pictures of it. I've had the experience with the first generation Rocket 15 or 16 years ago, and back then I said if they come out with a second iteration of it, I'm definitely gonna get myself one, and that's what I did. So awesome bike. I don't want to talk about the awesomeness, I want to talk about some of the things that I've personally experienced with this motorcycle. So you've got some knowledge and understanding of the bike. So the first thing is these front fenders tend to have a vibration in. I've reduced mine. You take off these 4 bolts on the fender, and you put, you get a little foam with a sticky bit on the one side. I stick it on there. It's about 2 or 3 mil thick, and that takes that vibration away. So that's the first thing I've done. The second thing, I'm not sure if you can see that, the lights are slightly more tilted up. Reason for that is the lights are generally very straight down. So night riding, something I don't recommend, but the light spread on this for me was a bit too low, so I asked them to adjust and increase that. On the back of that, I've also increased the preload on the rear suspension to 2 clicks from max, so it's actually raised the rear a bit, also while the lights were slightly pointing down, so we corrected that. The suspension I've adjusted myself. I've got a little marker here on the front fork to indicate my travel. I fitted mid mounts on this motorcycle. Normally they come with forward mounts all the way up here. This is easily the best conversion you can do for this motorcycle, is moving the pegs from the front to the rear. And the reason for that is, what I've seen is, if you're driving like this at high speed, and specifically if the wind direction is in a specific direction, it's got a tendency of pushing your boot off the peg. I've heard of fellows that had the foot come off, come back, hit the exhaust, and the one guy actually damaged his foot. If you wear proper protection, that is less likely to happen, but those are one of the things I didn't like about the forward controls. What else that I did? The bike has got a normal little strap going here over the sissy bar. I've removed that. I think it's got no functional value really in the modern day, so I've removed that. Looks a whole lot slicker. The motorcycle had a rear brake recall. I'm not somebody that uses a rear brake a lot, but the rear brakes on these go away. The reason for that apparently is the master slave can't push enough oil, so they changed and replaced that under warranty for me about a month ago. While just before I took the motorcycle in to have the rear brake done, I got a OC ABS disabled warning on the motorcycle. I'm quite sure these things are linked and connected. It is a single ABS system for both front and rear, so if the rear isn't working, you're going to start having issues on the front, and that's exactly what happened. So touch wood, everything has been going great with the brake, so I'm happy with the recall they've done. It was about a 3-hour thing. They can do it quicker, but the workshop was busy, so 3 hours later I had the bike all washed and ready to go. They also changed I think the battery amp from a 7.5 to a 10 amp. That's the other thing they've done. That essentially is the things, the niggles I've had with this bike. That's all of them. I really enjoy the motorcycle. My riding setup, obviously I've set up the controls and levers the way I like and prefer them. This stick has got my 360 camera on. This is where we're gonna run it today. I have got my instamic right here. This is what we're using to record the audio on this, and when we're going out for the ride today, I've got a little bracket and cover for microphones. There's the bracket inside, and we are going to mount it on the rear GoPro clip right there close to the exhaust, and we're going to feed the sound straight into the mic. That's one of the features of this. So a couple of things I find very valuable when riding motorcycles is the good old earplugs. It's not because this motorcycle is overly loud, it's more about wind noise in the helmet. Anything over 105 decibels thereabout continuously is very harmful to your ears. These take off about 10 to 15 decibels, so you can still hear. Great to use, so protect your ears, guys. On that, I haven't got my helmet here. I've got a cargo system on there, and that's for communication, specifically with a pillion, or to take a phone call if I need to, or voice navigation. I do not mount a cell phone on the motorcycle. I've seen too many people fiddling with it, sorting out music, doing whatever they do, and having an accident. Your eyes need to be on the road, so use your ears for that. Tire pressure gauge, I think you've seen this one before. If you haven't, this is for a motor car. It takes 4 readings, so I use the left side for the cold temperatures and the right hand side for the warm temperatures. Digital, very accurate, love using this. This is a must, guys. If you really want to sort out your grip, confidence and comfort when riding, tire pressures is the most critical one. So I'm not a big heavy guy, so my front when they up to heats 2.8 bar, up from 2.5, and the rear goes up from 2.5 to 2.9. That's the pressures I like for my riding style conditions in South Africa currently. That's how I set it up. Over to that, I've got a little kitchen digital thermometer. It goes from -50 all the way to 420 degrees Celsius. I use that for cooking, but also for when I'm done riding, is to check the heat on the tires, to see if my temperatures and the heat I get out of the tires is of a good balance. It's useless, you've got good pressure in here, but the tire is cold. A lot of the grip comes from the heat out of the tire, so you need to get heat into them. That's why I run mine slightly softer, because as the tire compresses and work, it heats up and the pressure comes up. So that's my setup. We're going to go for a ride. If I think about anything I want to discuss on this motorcycle, I'll do it on there. This motorcycle's got 7,000 Ks on the clock. I'll show you the dash maybe a bit later. I haven't had a issue on this motorcycle besides the fob that sometimes doesn't want to connect. It started doing it on outrides. Way into the ride, the bike will just cut out. Triumph, when I took it in to do the rear brake recall, fitted a new battery, in my remote for free, so that seems to be working quite well. I check the engine oil on this quite regularly. It's still golden, crystal clear. You can't even see it's worked the engine oil. It's 7,000 k's on the clock, about a year's riding. Very, very happy with the way this motorcycle runs and behaves. So nothing else I can really comment. The mirrors on this motorcycle, excellent. I really like the dash, the classy looks, the contrast on this motorcycle. I've covered all of those things I like about this bike. If you haven't seen it, I'll put up a link here somewhere. And the guys are going out for a ride, so I'm also going to head out shortly. Thanks for your time. We'll record some video when we go out, and riding video. The sound of this motorcycle, I think it's going to be spectacular with this little microphone on there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.